All right.
Hey guys.
Hey now, we're back, and this is episode 25 of An Hour to Kill. We're going to be covering three Vincent Price films: The Abominable Dr. Phibes, Dr. Phibes Rises Again, and Theater of Blood. And man, it's been a hell of a week. What's going on?
Not too much, man, but yeah, it's been kind of a hectic week trying to get all these films in because we've got quite a few streams now this weekend. We've got Eurocult tomorrow, and then we've got Gizmos later on tomorrow. So trying to fit them all in, but yeah, it's been good. It's been these are kind of different to what we usually do.
Oh yeah,
and they've all kind of got their own merits. And they're very similar as well, which we'll come on to in a bit.
And I mean, out of all the Vincent Price films, I've never seen these three, so that was kind of crazy, you know.
Yeah, I think I was the same. I think maybe I've seen Theater of Blood, bits of it on British TV back in the day, or possibly maybe three of them, bits and pieces here and there. But it was kind of a whole new experience watching these three, and the additions as well on Blu-ray is fantastic.
Yeah, well, I mean, the only one I have this is what I got, the Kino 2-pack, and the transfer looks great on both films. I don't have Theater of Blood, but it's on Tubi in Spanish. So it's in Spanish on Tubi, but you can read it. And they had the subs on there, so that's cool.
Yeah, that would have been different. Watching it in Spanish. I mean,
But let me catch the chat right quick. I guess we'll get to going on this, man. To the master of the macabre, or could say the master of horror, in a lot of people's eyes. He's last. He's the last one of the greats. You know what I mean? Like Bela Lugosi, Boris Karloff, those guys, Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing. You know.
Yeah, for sure, man. He's one of the best, definitely.
But I mean, not the last. You know what I mean? But in that
last of the oldest kind of generation, yeah.
Right. Let's see. You got Russell in here. Dr. Phibes.
Hey, Russell.
Or Dr. Phibes, however you want to say it. Woo! Yeah, Texas. What's going on?
Texas in the house.
Bow down to the panel of pain. Yeah, man. Yeah. I like it. 71. How you doing?
Hey, 71.
Last week. What's up? Last weekend of Halloween.
Hey,
yeah,
Sean.
What's going on, Sean? Glad you're here.
He's been doing some good stuff, Sean. You mind with the watching?
I haven't had any time, man, at all. It's just been so crazy. Like work. Like try to watch these films and do a decent review is going to be kind of like, you know what I mean? I was crunching on this. I didn't have as much time as I usually do. Getting home late at night and stuff. So, but
right, yeah. If you think about it, we've had 9 films we've got to review this week, so it's been really
9 damn films. Yeah, crazy.
And then next week we'll have an easy week anyway. Then we'll just do the Saturday show and that'll be it.
And people saying, "Hey," 71 saying, "I love Vincent Price." Yeah. It's hard not to. I mean, so I was telling Darren, like, because I think I've told this story before, but like I remember my first VHS tapes I bought. It was Night of the Living Dead, and it was The Bat with Vincent Price.
Oh right, yeah, I keep forgetting he was in that. Yeah.
And I wore those damn tapes out. You know what I'm saying? Like I bought those tapes for like 50 cents at a yard sale. You know what I'm saying? Like. But I remember Vincent Price being on TV, like he was all over the place when I was growing up, man. I mean, 82 Thriller, the Michael Jackson song. I mean, did the voice narration for that. I mean,
yeah, he actually did the voiceover for Iron Maiden's Number of the Beast as well.
Yeah.
Which, because very distinct.
He's done tons of stuff, man. But yeah, let's see. Sean says the Abominable Dr. Phibes is my all-time favorite Price movie. Hell yeah.
Nice.
Really like it, man. It's not my favorite of his, but I'm glad we did this because I wouldn't have known about it, but I really dig it for sure. I like all 3 of them, but that one to me sticks out the most, and I think Darren's he's on the Theater of Blood a little more. But.
We'll come into it. I like all 3 of them. I think they're all very much like near enough the same mark, but I think I slightly favor Theater of Blood.
Right. And we got Holland. People saying, "Hey, we got Holland Oates here, man. What's going on?" Now we can get started. Holland's here. Yeah.
Hey, yeah.
Let's see. Theater of Blood is a favorite, and The Tingler. Yeah, The Tingler is classic, man, for sure.
I've never seen The Tingler.
Yeah, it's twisted, and it's the first damn. I think it's the first film to ever put LSD in the movie. like he injects himself with LSD and shit.
Didn't the guy wire the cinema seats up as well for that?
Yeah,
so
he's
like when certain scenes come on.
William Castle.
Yeah.
He had all these hokey things he'd do, in the theaters. He'd like have I think it's in House on a Haunted Hill. He had like a skeleton flying across the audience and shit when that scene came out, and you can imagine back in the day, people were
they don't do nothing like that now. You think they would do more things like that, but no.
He was the master of like the gimmicks, but the shit was fun, man. And that's before Rocky Horror Picture Show, where the audience participated. Yeah. But let's see. Everybody's saying, "Hey." Oh yeah. Sean says, "Thanks, guys. October is always a super busy month for us all." Yeah, yeah, man.
No, keep them coming, man, because I don't get involved so much in the chat with Sean, but which I need to do. But I
Yeah.
do watch them. I do enjoy them.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna have to check it out too, man. Because here lately, I've had a lot of people around me while I'm working, so I can't do what I usually do, which is I'm constantly listening to something, usually at work, because I'm usually alone. But I can't.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to do that lately. Let's see. Yeah, Texas saying, looking forward to the watch along tonight, Sean. Okay, cool. Yeah, man. I'll
Nice.
definitely
Yeah.
pop in for sure. Let's see. Yeah, I love Theater of Blood, Russell. It was the second Price movie I ever saw, and I happened to find it on TV right when he was cutting off one guy's head, and I was sold immediately. Yeah, that shit is brutal, man. I was like, yeah.
That film is pretty brutal, actually. Yeah, all the way.
I'm not seeing Russell's comments. I don't get. Oh, he's talking about Tex. Okay, I always get confused. I haven't seen H20 in years, and I'm excited to see it again. Okay.
Oh, I love that film. That's probably one of my favorites.
Mask of the Red Death is another favorite of mine. And speaking of which, Texas, that is my favorite Vincent Price film. Is Mask of the Red Death for sure.
That's another to be honest with you, I've not seen a lot of Vincent Price's films. I've
Right.
seen The Fly. I want to see The Bat because I hear that's kind of Jallo-esque type.
The Bat. Yeah.
Yeah. So I really want to see that. But I've only got a crappy old DVD. I need to get the.
Well, I had a crappy old VHS that I used to watch over and over.
Well, sometimes that's a good way of watching them, you know.
Right, and it was a bad copy too, because you could tell those were cheap tapes, you know.
Yeah, I think that
even for
like
VHS,
back in the day.
You know,
go on. Sorry.
even for VHS, that was cheap. You know what I mean? Like you knew there was better quality VHSs too. You know.
Yeah, but I think like going back and watching Night of the Living Dead like that, or Texas Chainsaw, they kind of gives them a raw feel to them.
Right.
I like sometimes I'll go back and watch something like that. You know, it's nice having the Blu-rays and the 4Ks and all that, but sometimes I'll just pop in an old DVD copy or something that's not quite as crisp, just to get the atmosphere.
To get that
but
grimy,
those songs are fine. The grimy feel. Like Night of the Living Dead is a perfect one. But well, Halloween as well coming out.
Right. Let's see. I got Sean saying first one I ever saw was House on Haunted Hill. Nice. And the acid vat scene is what made me fall in love with skeletons. Yeah.
See, I'm embarrassed to say I've not seen that one either.
You would like that, man. That's more your alley. Like House on Haunted Hill and the fall of the House of Usher is arguably his best. And you got House of Wax. I mean, there's so many. He's got like over 100 horror films, and he's like, I think he's made 211 films, and then he's been in shit tons of TV. And he's even been on records, man. I found this out doing all this. I found out that he did a record. I need to go back. I guess I should have wrote that down. He did a record. It's creepy as hell. Instructing people how to summon demons and shit.
Wow. Fucking hell, I bet that didn't make the top 40.
And believe it or not, it sold like a son of a bitch. And yeah, because I mean, it was during that time of the satanic panic shit going on and shit, you know. People were into that shit back then, man. So,
but I can imagine people buying that anyway, like you say, because just for the voice alone.
Yeah, he made two more after it because it did so well. It was like he did a ton of voiceover shit. You know, he did shit for Disney, Mouse Detective, and what do you call it? He did Scooby Doo. He was on Sesame Street. Yeah, he was on Sesame Street and shit. I mean, all kinds of shit, man.
Crazy, man, crazy.
I remember seeing that him on Sesame Street though. Like when I was a
I
kid.
can remember that. Yeah. But I would totally forgot about it until you just mentioned it. But I can remember that. Yeah.
Right. Let's see. When that woman gets her eyes pecked out by that raven. Oh, was he talking about? Which one's he talking about?
That's definitely in one of these films, I think.
Is it?
I know
yeah. There is a scene in that, right? In one of these?
Similar to, or was it the guy? Because there's one scene that remind me of the Omen 2 with the bird, attacking the woman. But yeah, Tex, let us know which one that is, because
man.
Sometimes the films kind of blend together. I've got notes on them anyway. So.
Okay. And Sean saying, I have Mask in my collection, but I only seen it once and need to see it again to have a better opinion of it. Yeah, man. It vibed with me, man. I've seen it a few times. I really like it. But let's see. It's my beautiful wife. I'm here. Hey, honey. Hey, Darren.
Hey, Tash.
Hey, baby. Thank you for popping in. Mask of the Red Death. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. It's the main baddie chick, I believe, is what he's talking about. Yeah. I remember that shit now. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Cool. But yeah, man. I was just gonna kind of go over like a brief overview. I got several notes on Vincent. A lot of shit I didn't know, and that's why I love doing this shit, man. But
yeah, go for it,
man. I'll say this to start off though. Like he always included the audience, like in everything you're watching of Vincent Price. It always looks like he's winking at the audience in a way, and like so many different roles I've seen that. And people say he was like Jekyll and Hyde. Like on the screen, he played that villainous character, but it was a sympathetic villain a lot of times. But in real life, they said that he was nothing like that. Like he treated everyone the same. It didn't matter if they were rich or poor. None of that shit mattered. That's pretty damn awesome to hear. Like all the people that spoke highly of him, like everybody loved him,
because he was good friends with the critic David Duval. I think he does an interview on some of these releases, and he actually turned around and said he would make. It doesn't matter who you are, he would make everyone feel special.
Right.
And he said he answered every kind of letter that he was sent. He would like deal with all that, reply to everything, and he also said if they went out to dinner and someone come up to him, he would rather his food go cold and he would give that person 5-10 minutes of his time, than he was just all about the fans. He loved the fans,
And
which is cool.
So I was gonna just go through it a little bit, but he was born in 1911 in Massachusetts, man. But here's a quote. I had to write this quote down. It's too damn good not to. This is a quote from Vincent Price. He said, "The man who limits his interests limits his life. There's a whole world up there on the stage and the screen, but there's a bigger world off of him." So he had a shit ton of interest, man. He was like really into art, big time. And he became like an expert at judging art. Like he collected, his art collection was like worth over $5 million when it was all said and done. And
that's funny that like Lucio Fulci was the same, wasn't he? He was an art critic, and he used to collect as well. And I think,
he was really into art. He was really into cooking. You know what I mean? And of course, film. He had a bunch of different interests, man. And then I was like, I found this out. Like, so his grandmother, if I'm not mistaken, was the first child born in colonial Massachusetts on the Mayflower when it was like in the where's it at? In Provincetown Harbor. Like,
Wow.
I guess the boat was there, like she was being born in America. So that's kind of crazy as hell to think that she's the first child born in Massachusetts. And he's from
Man.
Welsh descent, Welsh and
Is he
English
really?
descent. Yeah.
Shit,
So,
that's the same as me.
right. I didn't know all that either. I just
Right,
assumed,
yeah, because his daughter said that they come from, I think it's Pembrokeshire in Wales, which is not really near me.
Yeah.
And she remembers them going, down there for holidays and stuff.
Right.
So yeah, that makes sense. But I didn't know that. I didn't know he was from Welsh descent. That's cool, man.
Yeah. And I always just assumed he was American, but he's, like I knew that he had a ton of schooling over there in England, at Yale over in England. He went to an art institute after he graduated. He got some degrees and, damn, I'm blanking now.
Yale is one of the top places in the UK.
But basically, he come from a very wealthy family. Like his grandfather invented some kind of baking powder, some tartar-based baking powder, and that's where he made his fortune. And yeah, so so he got his degrees in English and art history from Yale, and then after teaching, he taught for a year. Then he went on to Courtauld Institute. You know about that? Courtauld Institute?
No, never heard of it.
It's in London. So then he got into theater in 1935. His first role was Prince Albert in a play, Victoria Regina, and he named his daughter after the name he named her Victoria after that name of that. But I'm not going to bore y'all with all this because I could keep going on. But his first horror film was The Tower of London with Boris Karloff. That was his first film.
Yeah, that's going back. So what year would that have been in the 30s?
I think that was 38.
Yeah,
I believe that's 38. I could be wrong. But then he got, like, I couldn't write down every film. I wrote down a lot, but I'm not going to do that. We're just trying to do an overview, So, but House of Wax, man, 1953, the very first 3D movie. And what's crazy is the director only had one eye.
I didn't know that.
So he couldn't see the 3D, like, he didn't know what the big deal was. Let me catch.
I think that's where the start, like, people know his career from the start. Is the 20 years after that? Because his daughter was saying up until like the start of the 70s, he had this 20-year, and it's just like really good filmography. It's just as good as anything you'll ever see of the time.
Yeah, from 53 to, I mean, it
goes
on. And then television too. Batman.
Yeah.
He played Egghead in Batman series, the show with Adam West and all them. And there's a radio show in the BBC, The Price of Fear. Did you ever hear any of that?
No. So you're probably talking back in the 50s or 60s, then.
Okay. But he loved Edgar Allan Poe stuff. That's why he took a lot of those roles, and he felt like that Poe was never properly portrayed. Any of his adaptations were never done on screen, so that's why he wanted to do The Fall of the House of Usher. So
right. That makes total sense.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not going to go through everything, but he did some shit with Alice Cooper, you know what I mean? Did some voiceover work for Alice Cooper on The Nightmare. TV special, The Nightmare. He was on there with Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
And then he was song Black Widow by Alice Cooper. So
Well, yeah. So we did Cooper, Maiden. The big one was the Michael Jackson Thriller video. Really, that's probably what I remember more as a kid. You know, just that voice is so.
Yeah, Thriller is what I really, I think that was like a big deal, when that came out.
Oh, that was massive over here.
Yeah.
Because I remember them premiering the video on. I think it was on TV.
I do too, man. I remember it was like a damn movie. It was like a movie event. You know what I mean? Like,
and this was like 2:00 in the morning back in the 80s, and people were staying up for, and they had like school and work the next day and that.
1982 shit. I remember that shit.
That was just massive at the time.
Right. But yeah. So man, he's done so much shit. I can't name it all. Tim Burton, made a short in dedication to Vincent Price, and it's called Vincent. It's a stop motion animation.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's like dedicated to him. And then of course, he had Edward Scissorhands, which during that time he had Parkinson's and he had what the hell was chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. And then he died of lung cancer in October 25th of 1993. So,
I would imagine he was pretty much a big smoker by the saying of it.
Yeah. So was that 30 years ago?
30
years ago in 3 days. Vincent Price died. So
yeah, bloody hell.
But yeah, man. I just want to read this one last quote. I think I didn't catch who wrote this, so this is not me. I'm not taking credit for this, so nobody don't get on my ass and shit. I just like the way it sounds. So, but it says, one raise of his eyebrows, and you knew you were about to be thrilled by a debonair, evil, yet sympathetic villain. I can't imagine these films without Vincent Price in them. He was just a fine actor, never pretentious. The audiences that went to see him were all inclusive, from the poorest to the richest. Nobody disliked him. Vincent Price was classless, even though he was classy, an exaggerated gentleman. He gave upscale a good name, and he was always handsome, dignified, charming, and a little bit sinister. I just like that damn description of Vincent Price, so I had to.
Yeah, it's a perfect description actually, because that comes through on screen. That he can play a sinister character, but he's got like just the likability factor as well.
Right.
And what you'll find with these three films as well, that he can play comedy as well. Even though it's not slapstick comedy or anything like that.
No.
It's all done tongue in cheek. These films are not to be taken too seriously.
And y'all gotta bear with us a little bit, because this is our first time watching these films, these three films anyway. I mean, with somebody with that damn many films, I mean, there's, I guess it's possible to see every one, but I just hadn't seen these three. So
yeah, the same, all new watches for me as well.
Let me catch the chat right quick. Got the mayor in here. What's going on, man?
Hey, man.
And he says, one eye 3D director. What the fuck? Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds crazy.
Yeah. I think they did it after the fact, and like he was like, he didn't know what the big deal was because he couldn't.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man. I guess we'll start with the Abominable Dr. Phibes, man. 1971, directed by Robert Feist. I guess that's how you say his name.
Feist, I think. Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and just tell y'all, man. I'm gonna give this a 7. I gave it a 7 out of 10, just out the gate. But you want to give a description, or?
Have you got something down for the description? I've got like a short little paragraph.
Yeah, I got.
So
it's up to you.
I think this is your favorite 3, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. So so Dr. Anton Phibes, played by Vincent Price, of course, and then Dr. Versalius is Joseph Cotton. You got Inspector Harry Trout is Peter Jeffrey. Bonavia is Virginia North, and then Phoebe's wife, Victoria Regina, is Carolyn Monroe. And did you knew that, right?
Yeah. She's basically for most of the film, she's just a photograph.
Yeah, I mean, she's very way down there on the cast, but I seen that name and I was like, wait a minute. You know?
Oh God, you can't mistake her even.
Yeah.
You know, she still looks beautiful as she ever did.
But yeah, she don't really do much. She's just asleep the whole damn time. So anyway, Dr. Anton Phibes seeks revenge on the medical team doctors who operated on his wife. He blames them. He in his mind, he thinks that they had 6 minutes. They only worked on her for 6 minutes under surgery, under the knife, and she died. And so he's rushing to get back to her, and he dies in a car wreck. At least that's what everyone thinks, but he survives.
Right.
And
yeah.
So he's just like fueled with hatred and revenge to kill these 9. He makes that very clear. 9 must die.
Yeah.
But
in
very creative ways, he's killing everyone too. So, but yeah, and this starts out like that happened in 1921, but this takes place in 1925. So he's, it's been like 4 years in between. So scarred and hideous, he has made prosthetics. The crash also took his speech, so he's like a genius. So he figured out a way to, like with acoustics, how to talk still.
Yeah.
He can't talk through his vocal cords somehow. And like I said, in his madness, he's very meticulously killing everyone. He's doing it like in the Old Testament, the plagues of the 10 plagues of the Old Testament. That's right. That's how he's killing everyone. So,
and this is like a forerunner to the slasher film, where every death is basically a film that is basically different set pieces and different deaths, scenes of all his victims. I think it's definitely a forerunner to the slasher film. I think
sets are like what set this damn thing off to me, though. It's like, son of a bitch, man. The way everything looks, like
it looks amazing.
It's put together pretty damn good. Production design is amazing.
But like you got the whole opening where he's playing the organ, and we see these like it's like a clockwork band, and they're so creepy.
Yeah.
But it works really well. Yeah. And this is the opening scene, so straight off the bat you're like thinking, what the hell, man? You know? But it's got that really creepy vibe to it.
Yeah.
Do you think I've got written down here as well, with the look of those clockwork dolls, that band, do you think Argento may have seen this, the Deep Red, with the clockwork puppet?
Oh, with the little puppet?
Yeah, I was thinking that's the possibility.
It does got that vibe, don't it?
Yeah,
it kind of does. Now thinking about it. But you know what else I thought about Dr. Phibes, though? Is that I'm sitting there watching this, and I'm like, son of a bitch, man. Saw. Jigsaw.
Yeah, I did as well. Yeah.
I was like, what the hell? This is definitely where the Jigsaw came from. It had to be, man. Like
the final scene, more so than anything.
And he's a doctor. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So it's like
honestly, that came into my mind when I seen that final scene with Joseph Cotton.
Right.
That's the first thing that came to my mind was Jigsaw.
I was thinking that while the traps and shit that he sets up.
Oh right, yeah. I didn't even put 2 and 2 together by that stage. But yeah, it's great.
But yeah, man, the original script. So I found this out, and I wonder how this would have played. Okay, so the original script, it had Dr. Phibes abusing his assistant Vonavia.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think.
What do you think about that shit? I don't think it would have worked as good, right?
There's no way that would have worked well at all.
I think it's good the way it is now. Like, so that was creative control by the director Robert Feist or whatever his name is. I don't mean it like that, but I don't know how to pronounce his name. But
Robert Feist, I think he's done And Soon the Darkness, which is a Shallow X type film.
Really?
Yeah, he made that, and he did The Devil's Reign as well.
Okay.
The one from '75.
Yeah, I'm glad he took over creative control and was like, "No, we're not going to have her being abused." Like, I just wonder, but part of me like wants to see like what that film would have been like. I don't know.
But what do you think about that character? Because we was talking about this before when we would come on air. That character, I'm glad they don't like tell you everything about that character.
Yeah,
they don't tell you no, and it's kind of really strange because
So I know a good bit of like lore on different like things in history,
Yeah.
In Rises Again, like we'll get to that, but it kind of, I kept thinking like, who the hell is she? Like where? Yeah. But she looks like Ishtar, the goddess Ishtar or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
She straight up looks like Ishtar when she comes out of when she's coming out of this one scene. She's got this big headdress shit on. I don't know. But.
So yeah, it's like kind of Blood Feast vibe then as well.
Right, but I'm glad, like you said, they didn't tell you shit about it. It kind of leaves a mystery. That's why I really
because we've got the backstory of everything, with what happened with the accident he had and all that. But just keeping that character because she's not in the film a lot, but when she is, she's dynamite when she's in it though. Because she's such a beautiful, character as well.
And it's two different women. You know that, right? Like Virginia North. Yeah, Virginia North in this one. But anyway, we'll get to the other.
I don't know why they didn't bring the same woman back. But does she die in this one? Can't remember now. We'll come on to that.
Yeah,
notes written.
Yep. And that's something else that don't make sense. But anyway, I also found
Go on.
I also found this pretty interesting. Like Peter Cushing was gonna originally play Dr. Versalius, like the main doctor at the end.
Yeah.
But he couldn't due to illness. His wife had a bad illness, so he couldn't do it.
That's probably why he comes back and does the sequel then. But he hasn't got a big part in the sequel, has he? But
no, he's like a little cameo.
But we've got to mention this early scene, and with the bats.
Oh yeah.
In the bedroom.
Yeah.
I thought this is really good, really well done.
It is.
It kind of. I had like a Fulci vibe to it. Obviously we watched Haste by the Cemetery last week with the bats, and it's kind of got that cheesy vibe, but it does work similar to the Fulci films.
It definitely does. I mean, those are real bats.
Yeah.
So, and then that one bat looks like it's winking at the dude. And in one part, I don't know if you saw that, but
yeah, it's very, very of its time. But I mean, it's a brilliant scene and it starts off the film I think really well, really strong.
It kind of reminds me like, and I know a lot of people have seen this movie more times than us, but I mean, it kind of reminds me of a Bond villain, except he gets away with everything he's fucking doing. You know what I mean? Bond ain't stopping this motherfucker. Kind of shit.
Oh no, yeah, his intelligence is on a different level to any. Right. And that's the thing we got with this film, with these films as well. You get sort of comedy cops. I don't know.
They're useless. They're just
they just don't. They never work in a film for me anyway. But we'll come on to that. But we got some great set pieces in this, like death scenes in this film.
Yeah, man. Sure.
Because you got the one then because they mentioned the guy about getting stung to death, didn't they, with the bees? Shortly after, the first scene. And yeah, I just think, because I don't know if you want to go through, we're not going to go through scene for scene, but basically this Phibes character, I wouldn't say it didn't so much remind me of like when his mask is off, like maybe Fraudstein character in Fulci, but we find out early on that he's kind of like making like wigs to put on his head and like ears of victims. Is there a
prosthetic?
Yeah, to make him look better. But yeah, what do you think about the dance scene? With the frog mask scene?
Yeah, man,
it's just off the wall, man.
That shit tripped me out. That's when I was like, oh shit, they straight stole this shit for Saw. I mean, that's the scene, is the frog mask scene.
Right, I didn't put that together until you just said. But now, yeah, and I mean the look, like with all these masks as well.
And then the guy's thinking about how beautiful the mask looks and shit, and like the whole time he's just like, and then he's even patting him on his back, like it's so
bizarre.
You know what I mean? Like, go ahead, go now, like patting him on his back and shit, like. Of
the first thing I thought with that scene was Eyes Wide Shut. When they got the masks on.
Yeah. Like the big ball of the elites.
Right, yeah. They're all well-to-do. So whether Kubrick had seen this film, it's possible.
Probably so.
Yeah. It did give that vibe, definitely.
But these kind of parties have been happening a long time. Those kind of parties. Those masquerade parties.
Oh, yeah. And that's like makes me want to, I don't want to go off a tangent, but that makes me want to go back and watch Eyes again, and we'll probably do we'll do a Kubrick special at some point, or because I think The Shining would be just one show in itself.
Right.
I think that,
I think.
But I'm sorry to go on a tangent, mate.
Yeah. No, you're good. But
so yeah, you've got Detective Trout then, and it's just comical the way these detectives are trying to, work out, who's doing this, and although it's not really much a mystery, is it? Because we know from the off who it is.
But what I like about the movie is it's got you siding with him, even though he's doing this fucked up shit. Like, you're kind of like you're riding with him, I am anyway. Like when I'm watching the movie.
No, he's such a likable character as well.
Yeah.
In all three of the films, actually,
right?
You kind of root for the villain as much as that, seems wrong to do. But there's so many great scenes in this film. You've got the guy who's watching the black and white kind of like, I would say, would you say that's an old style porno film or something? The woman with the snake.
Yeah, because this is 1925 when all this is happening.
Yeah, it's kind of.
I've always liked that in these older films, like when they do in the 20s.
Yeah,
they make it work really well. Like,
and it's quite. Go on.
You just got to get all that right. The right vehicles. Everything's got to be right. You know what I mean? And they did it perfect, I thought, as far as capturing the 20s.
A weird kind of scene because he's actually like doing the fucking film and he rolling the film himself.
I guess that's how it was, man.
Yeah, on this like projector screen.
Yeah.
But I thought that was a really good kill where they draining him of his blood.
And then the comedy with the maid coming in there, like, and he's all like, like he's busted and shit, and like, I guess he was finna get his jack on or something. I guess that's what he was doing.
Basically, that's what he was gonna do. He kind of got off on watching naked women with snakes, basically.
Right. The maid's like asking him, "What is this?" And he's like, "It helps with the draft." Like, whatever, man.
There's definitely comedy. Like, this is definitely comedy horror, and it's like really hard to do those two things and get it right. But this does it perfectly. I think all three of them does it perfectly. Maybe the second one's a little bit more slapstick, maybe. But and after every death as well, we hear this like violin play. I think Volnavia plays this violin every time, and
Right.
that's like really creepy as well.
She's creepy as hell, you know. Just
Yeah, it's brilliant, brilliant
a beautiful
portrayal.
woman that don't talk, and she does everything he says. And like, so at first I was watching the, like at first glance watching this shit, I'm like, does he like got her hypnotized or what? But then after you watch the second one we're gonna get into in a minute,
Yeah.
then you're like, nah, I got my own theories. If anybody has seen these movies, let us know what your theory is on. Unless I missed something, I might be a dumbass over here, like not knowing. But I mean, it's kind of cool not knowing, like
Well,
where
I'm
she
the
came
same.
from.
I watched all these twice, and
Yeah,
yeah, I don't think they let you know in any way, shape, or form why
right,
that character is or who she is or anything. And like you
right.
say, it's good to have that little bit of mystery as well. Um, but then you've got like the amulets come into play, don't they? So after every death, I think
Right.
is it that they go to the guy who makes these amulets, and I think Phibes leaves one behind, doesn't he? After that, I think it might have been
And
that
these
kill.
detectives are like 3 steps behind.
Oh,
Like
they're useless, man.
they're not just
They-
one step; they're like 3. You know what I mean? He's already got shit planned and ready to go. Like,
yeah, I could have kind of done a little bit without too much of the comedy from them
me too, man.
because
But
it
I guess for
becomes
the time though, I bet it probably worked more. You know,
it definitely works, but it's just not my thing.
it's
As
not
as
mine
in
either. But
like Last Taste on the Left and stuff like that, just ruins it a little bit for me.
yeah,
Um,
I can kind of overlook it though when it comes to the main. You know, everything with him. I mean, he has a good reason why he's doing this in his mind. You know,
yeah, yeah,
uh,
definitely.
but
So it's kind of to do with like the 10 plaques of Egypt. I think like everyone has a curse, and that's where we're getting these different death
yeah, the
scenes.
different plagues that happened in Egypt in the
Yeah,
Old Testament. Like during the time of Moses.
and it takes like these obviously comedy cops. It takes them basically like half the film to work out they're all linked. They're linked to this Dr. Vesalius,
Yeah,
um, and they kind of work it out, who the actual killer is, which is no real mystery anyway.
yeah,
Uh,
and not at first they don't. It takes them.
takes a good half the film, I think.
I mean,
Yeah,
how many
before
people die before they figure it out? I can't even remember. Like it's several though.
there's 3 or 4 definitely. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. But each death scene as well, they kind of up it like as it goes more and more bizarre.
right.
um,
Let me. I see Dell's in here. What's going on, man? Says, "What's up?"
hey, Del.
Yeah, man. Glad to have you here, man.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, man. I don't know how far you want to go through this one, or if you just want to go on
We could
to.
mention a few more of the death scenes if you want, rather than
Okay.
because there's not much, as you'll work out if you see these films. There's not much plot. We basically like what Dirk said at the start. It's basically the plot, and then all you've got really is these death scenes, and we work out why he's doing it. Um, but yeah, another bizarre scene as well, which you've got this chauffeur, or is he like this guy's chauffeur, and he kind of dies. This doctor who's linked, to what's been going on, that you'll work out pretty much as the film goes on.
Yeah.
It's all like with the frozen solid with the hail, and I thought that was like really good idea the way they did that. It's
Yeah,
like
that
didn't he
little
wire
machine.
it up to the car? Yeah,
Yeah, and then
and it's
I guess he had him locked in there.
yeah,
But
yeah, like really creepy, really like very what's the word? Kind of to foresee all this, he must have been on a different kind of level in
yeah,
terms of intelligence.
meticulously plan all this shit is.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, basically that there's more and more. I don't know again how far you want to go into it.
It's whatever, man. Whatever you want to do. Like I said, I didn't write down a ton of like I didn't go scene to scene on everything, but I will say that the special effects in this are excellent, especially for this time. For this time, they're like top notch, and the set design is amazing, and just the whole. I mean, that's why we're doing this stream. I mean, Vincent Price is gonna amp a script up anyway. You know what I mean? Like, or any movie that he's in, he makes it better. So, highly recommend The Abominable Dr. Phibes. This one, that one.
Trying to think anyway.
I need to get the Arrow one. I know I do.
I got the Arrow one, but it's just the base. I didn't get the limited or anything.
There's no extras on this Kino. It's a damn good transfer, though, if you wanted to check it out. But you get both of them for a pretty good price, man. It was like, I think it was $12 when it was on the sale.
Oh, yeah, that's a no-brainer, really, £12 for them. But yeah, like you say, you've got, we'll just briefly go. You got the rat scene as well with the pilot, which is really...
man. Yeah, the rat scene with the pilot is that's a trip. And then he's all like looking through the telescope and shit, and like he's got this. Everything's like really nice. All his shit too. You notice that? Like chains gold, damn telescopes gold. like like everything. It's like straight out of a Bond. That's what I get the Bond vibes, kind of, with the.
No, yeah, definitely, yeah. He's kind of very sinister, but he's on, like you say, he's on a different level to anyone else. The cops, he's just running rings around the cops.
Yeah, he's just, and he's not killing anyone that don't deserve it either. Like in his mind, anyway. I'm not saying these people deserve this shit. I'm just saying, like, he's not like he didn't kill the chauffeur. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
and just to give you like how stupid these cops are, right? So they basically work out who's in line to get killed. You've got like a scene with like a nurse who was at the at the operation that went wrong, and even they can't get it right. Even like they lock her into this room, don't they, where they give her a sleeping pill, and then Phibes gets her through the roof.
Yeah, dude. That shit right there, man. I was like, holy shit. And
that's one of the best scenes in this film.
Yeah.
The way he like fucking screws a hole into the ceiling and
man.
The fucking Is that the one with the scorpions? I think. Oh no, that's not the one with the scorpions.
No, that's the next one. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because they run into each other, these two.
But let me. I see 71 saying Vincent Price was the master of revenge. Yeah.
Absolutely, man.
And I'll talk about it when we get to it. I was about to say something, but I don't want to say it yet. I'll wait till we get to the theater, but
I don't know how much you want to spoil the ending or say about the ending. But I think you've said pretty much a good thing it's very much like Saw.
It is.
We won't give the details away because it's going to completely ruin the film.
It blew my mind. Like I was like, holy shit, this is a lot like Saw, man. This is like Jigsaw. Like this, I could very well see. I don't know if James. I'm not sure on that. I'm not a big Saw fan, but James Wan, Lee Winnell. If they saw this film, it was like.
I would imagine they would have had to have. There's definitely some kind of inspiration there somewhere.
Yeah.
Surely it's too much alike, definitely, I would say. But really great film. I think even the tongue in cheek at the end as well with he plays the song Somewhere Over the Rainbow, then the credits.
Yeah. That threw me off a little bit. I was like, that's creepy.
I know, because when you think of that song, I don't know about you, but I think of like Wizard of Oz.
I automatically think of Wizard of Oz. Yeah.
Yeah, which is creepy enough in itself. But so that plays out the credits, and you're just thinking, what the hell did I watch? But it's good, campy fun. It's a great one to start. If you've
Right.
not seen any Vincent Price films, I think it's one you
Yeah,
could start with.
I would say it's a great one to start with for Vincent Price.
Yeah, yeah, I would say so. So I would say slasher fans would probably love it as well.
Yeah,
Even although it's nothing like an 80s slasher like Prom Night or anything like that. But I
no,
mean, it's definitely would appeal. I think the death scenes would appeal to like slasher fans for sure.
right. So I guess we'll get into the Dr. Phibes Rises Again, or did you want to mention anything else on this one?
No, just the fact that I think you give it a 7, then you out of 10.
I give it 7 out of 10, man.
I
Yeah,
give it
and it
solid.
could
I
go
think,
up.
yeah,
You
I
give it
was gonna say, yeah. I would say I'd give it a solid 6.
okay.
They're all going to be 6s for me, but you're going to get like a 6 plus, a 6 minus for the next two.
Okay.
But yeah, we could go on to the next one. Let me grab my coffee.
Okay. Yeah, and then you got this one. You probably
I
got a
got
better. Yeah, I like
the
that.
arrow one.
I like that cover art. Let me solo layout. Yeah, I like that cover art a lot better.
This was the alternative cover art because this was on the inside, and
Yeah,
then when I seen it, I thought, no, that's definitely going on the front. So I
yeah,
love
it's
that
killer,
cover.
man.
I love that cover.
It is because that's the one I got. That ain't. It's okay, but whatever.
I would say to you, definitely, seeing as much as you like these films, I would definitely upgrade them.
I think it's crazy that they got Peter Cushing on the cover on this one, and they got his
Yeah,
name and
yeah.
everything, and he's barely in the second film.
I'm
He's the
surprised as
captain.
well
Yeah,
that he didn't have a bigger part because
yeah,
obviously he was meant to play a big part in the first one, which we just mentioned.
but he might have
Um,
been doing something. I mean, this was '72, so he was probably working on something else. You know.
but it just goes to show you how much highly regarded that first film is for him to come and do the sequel, because
Yeah.
that would have been kind of unheard of. Peter Cushing's like a massive name at the time,
Oh yeah.
more so than Vincent Price, or certainly on the level with Vincent Price.
Hell yeah.
So you can tell that these films were like straight from the off.
I mean, personally,
well
Vincent
respected.
Price would outdo Cushing to me, but that's just me. Like my opinion.
That could be an American thing though,
Yeah.
because Cushing will probably be bigger over here in the UK.
Yeah.
I
I don't
would
know,
say
man.
so.
Like it's just weird though, because Vincent Price he was big over there too, man. Like he was huge over there
Yeah,
in the UK. You know what I mean? So
Oh
I don't know.
yeah. I just think Peter Cushing was just a fan favorite. Like everyone loved Price and all, but like
I
I'm
would
what
even take Christopher Lee over Cushing. Uh,
I think that would be a close thing, with people in the UK. But I'm like 52, so I can remember vaguely, the end of the 70s and how much these films were played on British TV, and just because both Peter Cushing, Christopher Lee, Vincent Price even were on all the top chat shows at the time, doing interviews and stuff. So but yeah, that's kind of interesting because I would say Peter Cushing for me would be the UK the most
because
popular.
it was Peter Cushing, and from what I remember from my childhood, it was Peter Cushing. He was always like Van Helsing,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
and Christopher Lee was always Dracula. So that's what I
yeah.
kind of
Which probably why I favoured Cushing, to be honest, because I've never
okay.
been a big vampire guy,
I
but
was
Peter
huge
Cushing
into the damn vamps back when I was a
was
kid.
yeah,
Like so much I wanted to be one. I mean, I'm on live saying that shit, but I don't care, man. It's the
right.
truth. I was always fascinated, but I don't want to go on a tangent on vampires, so we'll just keep on.
No, no. But with Cushing, I watched one of the first horror films I ever watched. Right, was The Creeping Death. I think it's
Okay,
1973.
yeah,
Peter Cushing, and then they were playing stuff on your like Asylum, which is another great anthology from the UK.
right.
Tales of the Crypt and stuff like that was being played all the time. So that's why I kind of favoured him. But yeah, I would love to have seen him done. Play one of the bigger parts in this film, because I don't know
Yeah.
if you know, but Robert Quarry, who plays, the kind of the villain as well in this film. They're both kind of villains, yeah.
It's kind of weird though. Like, did you see that on the end credits? Did you
What's
see
that?
that?
Refresh me.
It said protagonists, and it had Vincent Price and Robert Quarry.
Right. Okay.
I was like, what the hell? How are they the protagonists? Like,
Yeah.
they both seem like the villains, But I guess in this film,
that's what I would have thought. Yeah.
So it said protagonists though, and it had their names. I was like, what the hell is this shit, man? But
what I did do a little bit of reading up was they hated each other.
Yeah.
Like Vincent Price, because Vincent Price was 60 then, and he was kind of in the twilight of his career, and Price thought the Quarry was good. They were trying to make this this Robert Quarry out to be the next Vincent Price in a way,
Well,
so they were.
AI. So I read on that too. AIP were grooming him to be the next Vincent Price, and then like publicly said that shit.
Yeah, which got up prices like basically back, didn't it?
His replacement. I mean, they publicly said that shit. Like, that's an insult to somebody that's made you tons of money. You know what I mean? Like, why would you treat him like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of shitty. But Price. So I also saw something about that. Price said that they didn't get along, but Quarry said that he didn't have any problems, so he don't know. That was kind of weird too. So
yeah, I did see that as well. But anyway. I don't know how you want to recap the story to this, because this is just bonkers. I think the story.
Yeah, I can. So at the end of, I guess we got to spoil this one to go into this one. Really?
Yeah.
At the end
people, if you want to switch off, and you don't want spoilers.
Yeah, big spoiler alert. Yeah. So at the end of Abominable Dr. Phibes, Phibes, he basically is going to go into a suspended animation for for 3 years. So it shows him like inject himself with the IV or whatever. So it's like pulling his blood out, and then you see formaldehyde going in, but somehow he's got it figured out where he's going to be in suspended animation, and just like his wife is. So I didn't mention that either, but now we did. So after 3 years, somehow the stars align, the moon aligns, and then it shines down on. He's got it all figured out, man. He's a genius, right? So then it opens his it opens his crypt up, and then he's awake after 3 years, and so then you see him, man. That's what threw me off, though. This is the moment that threw me off. So then he's calling. He's like, one more time. He's calling to Volnavia, right?
Yeah.
He's like, one more time. That's the only clue. And then I see her step out of this doorway, and it's like all lit up behind her, and she's got like this Egyptian goddess looking shit on, like,
right, yeah,
just like Ishtar, the goddess Ishtar. And so that kind of makes me think that's who that is. I don't know. So
no, with the Egypt thing as well,
right.
that makes total sense. It has to be what they were going for.
Right.
The whole storyline to this though is kind of bonkers, isn't it?
Right. So then
absolutely bonkers.
So then he's telling her when she comes, she comes, they're still down in the crypt. And he's got this plan to go to Egypt, and he's gonna find eternal life, immortal life for him and his wife. And so he's trying to find his map, the papyrus map.
Papyrus.
The papyrus map. He's trying to find that, and somebody stole it. So he's tripping out. As he goes up the elevator on his organ, comes up to the top service level. His house has been destroyed. He's like freaking out. But but it's stolen from a man that has lived for centuries from some kind of elixir that he's found, and they're basically, like I said, the credit says that they're both protagonists, but they're really both villains. You know,
They are, yeah. They both got the same goal.
Yeah, and his name's Beiderbecke. He seeks permanent immortality as well for him and his lover, Diana. Which there's a lot of those names like Diana, Isis.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird, but anyway, that's kind of like the setup of it.
But yeah, I'm glad, because if people are confused now. I was like confused when I first saw this.
Right.
Because it's so convoluted as we go as well. Like it's really hard to follow, but on the second watch, it kind of works itself out a little bit more.
Right.
But yeah, this Beiderbecke character, he's definitely a villain, like Dirk just said.
See, Sean says Vincent Price also brought style to his revenge too. Yeah, most definitely.
Did, absolutely, yeah.
It's all that's a good way to. Vincent Price's style and class and intelligence and well spoken. You know what I mean? Like just
yeah.
It's,
that's what these films got in abundance, is style.
Right.
They look $1 million. I don't know what the budgets were.
They
would
didn't
imagine
have much of a budget. They weren't.
I was going to say, I would imagine they weren't big, but yeah, they get the best out of what money they did have.
Yeah.
But yeah, you've got to mention early on as well. I know we can. This is kind of a lot about death scenes, and I think with each film, actually, I think the death scenes get better and better. There's one in this one with the snakes while the manservant's playing snooker.
Oh yeah.
That's like a British game. You don't have it over there. You got pool over there,
it's pool is what I thought. But...
Yeah, snooker is. It's basically two like almost twice as big as a pool table. But that's
okay.
Yeah. But
I wasn't sure about. I was tripped out on that because the balls were all weird looking. Different colors.
Yeah.
I didn't know what was going on. I was kind of lost.
Yeah, the American people wouldn't know that.
Yeah.
But so you've got this manservant now. He's playing snooker. He's Beiderbecke's kind of manservant. His lover Diana doesn't really want to go to Egypt, but he basically says you got to go to Egypt with him. But then this scene is really strange, isn't it? With the snakes under the snooker table, and he thinks he's killed the one, and it's kind of mechanical.
I like how they did it though, because every one of his victims have just, they didn't really put up no kind of fight or nothing, and this guy's like killing these damn snakes and shit, and then one of them's a damn robot, So
it's done amazingly well, because you think, like, is he just messing about? Are they all kind of robots or mechanical?
Right.
And
then it still glances to Phibes, Dr. Phibes, and he's all like snickering, like, that was part of his plan the whole time. Like, he's always got that vibe about him. Like,
mischievous.
He's never losing. He's not a loser. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And like the way this guy like dies as well is kind of, because he has like basically like this large kind of I don't know what you would call it, like a screw or something coming out through his ears from a telephone.
Yeah. I like this.
It's like I think they say it's like a golden snake going through his skull, which is kind of I love that.
He gets bit too by a snake.
He does, yeah. It's kind of like a really vicious scene in a way, because at first it plays it kind of, you don't know what's going on.
It's kind of like comedy in a way, and then all of a sudden it turns dark as shit. It's like, what the? That's the thing about these movies, man. Like, there'll be like some comedy shit, but then it goes really dark.
It goes like that, like straight. Yeah. That's what you gotta love about these films as well. But yeah, you got the whole thing there. We don't want to go too much into it, where they're set sailing for like Southampton, basically, so they can go on to Egypt. And then you've got the whole kind of they're both, both after this like theory of what's going on with this map and the key, and
the
so they can, is it kind of so
papyrus.
they can like the river of death or river of life, sorry, so they can go on and,
immortality.
Live forever, which I don't think would be a good thing. I don't think.
No,
I know people say
guess
that.
it would for both. Well, it would be for them, I guess, in their mind,
Yeah.
Because
It's
somebody like Phibes, he just wants to live forever with his wife, So
yeah. But yeah, so you've got all these kind of death scenes. You've got they're kind of bizarre as well. You've got the one with like Ambrose, and he's kind of put into this giant bottle. I don't know how to describe it. It's really strange.
Yeah, that is a weird scene. I don't know how they did it. Like,
I don't know how they did it. I don't even know why they did it.
I don't know what happened. It's kind of like cut screen,
Yeah. Is it kind of because he was a drunken or something? I don't know.
Probably so. Probably.
That's the only thing I can think of why they put him in like
or
a
message in a bottle. Maybe message in a bottle type of shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, here's the message.
Yeah, absolutely.
You stole my damn shit. Like, I want it back. Like, but
I don't think it's properly mentioned, is it? Why? Because we get the first sign then, like a very small part, as we said, of Peter Cushing as the captain of the ship. But yeah, Scotland Yard detective in this is just.
They don't say his name or nothing. All it says is captain. That's what he's just captain. I was like, what the hell? Peter Cushing's just captain in this movie? Like, what the hell's going on? But
like you say, he's done it as a bit part. He's either not got the time because his wife was ill during the first one.
Yeah,
that's why he didn't do the first one. But I mean, yeah, he's just kind
of. That would have been great to have him to have that part though in the first one. That Dr. Vesalius.
Yeah. That would have been amazing. I think it would have put the film up a little bit more for me.
Right.
But yeah, man, you've got it's crazy. This film is just batshit crazy. I don't know how to,
Yeah. There's really not. There's not as much to this one as it is to either of the other two.
No. And I would like to see more of the Clockwork Band than we do. We don't get to see a lot of them in this one.
Right.
Because those scenes from the first were so creepy, and it doesn't quite. Whereas the death scenes are great, I think they've upped the death scenes for me from the first, but it doesn't quite reach the level of the first one. If that makes sense.
But after, like, I'm not trying to. You got anything? What? My bad, man.
No. Carry on.
No, I was just gonna say, like, after going through, like, studying up on Price and stuff I didn't know, I definitely want to check out. And I think I've seen it when I was a kid. I don't remember shit. I just remember that skeletal face. I definitely want to see Madhouse.
Oh, that's one. Yeah, that's one I tried to get hold of.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's on Blu-ray, but I remember trying to get hold of the DVD. I know I have a file of it. That's one I kind of would be similar to this, similar to these films actually, from what I can gather. Yeah, okay. I think I've done.
It's got Peter Cushing in it, so I was really I'm interested in that one. So
it's been a while, but I can remember reading up on that at some stage, and it's kind of proto slasher, from what I can gather.
Yeah, the trailer's killer, man. I was like, holy shit, I want to see it. But let me catch this comments right here.
Yeah.
Dale on movies, he says, I'm American and heard of snooker, but never knew the difference in the size of the table.
And it's 12 foot by 6 snooker table is. I think pool table is like 9 foot.
Okay. And Sean says, I own quite a few Price movies, but I still love catching the Vincent Price Halloween marathon on TCM every year, and that's how I saw a few of his movies for the first time. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's.
that's
I mean, I
cool, man.
remember seeing him on TV when I was a kid. And, Madhouse is another good one. I have it on DVD and a double feature with Theater of Blood. Nice.
That's right, yeah, because yeah, I remember seeing that. I think it was like a Midnight Movies DVD.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I'm really, really interested in that one, man. Uh,
we're definitely, yeah. Like I say, we'll probably end up doing another
but I'm
Vincent
on a
Price.
personal mission. I want to get all of. I want to get all Vincent Price's horror movies. Like I had to correct myself because last time I said I want to own every one of his films, but there's a lot I probably don't need to. That's not going to interest me. Like, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
like a lot of the comedies and stuff. But I don't know.
I like Price a lot. I don't, not to the level that you do though. I don't think
Yeah,
that. But I can watch these, and I'll watch these because I said to you as well before we come on here. Maybe I'll give them another go 12 months. I might even like them a bit more. But I don't think they're going to be ones I'm gonna play regularly. Maybe a Halloween every 2 or 3 Halloween. Do it like that.
but the thing with like Price and like Bela Lugosi, Boris Karloff, you know, Lon Chaney, the audiences use their imagination more. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it was the actors that made it happen. Like their skill and the tone and the atmosphere of everything was the true horror to those. You know what I mean?
yeah. It's
Versus
definitely of his time kind of thing.
right.
But you can like just mention a few little other things. You've got the bird kill as well, which is good in this one. Because there's a British actor called John Ford who plays the guy getting killed by these birds,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's one of the best. I think one of the best kills of all of them. It's cheesy. That's this is the one actually that got reminded me a little bit of like Fulci because uh, yeah, just the way it's shot, and it is. I think you can tell like it's not a real bird as well, because they're interchanged maybe with a real one and a false one. But
Right.
yeah, I thought that was really good. Probably one of the highlights of all these films for me.
The scorpion kill though. Holy
That's
shit.
probably the best. That's probably the best
The
of it.
scorpion kill is amazing in this film. It's like what the
I
shit.
mean,
And
you could go
he
on.
uses Bonavia. Bonavia. It's hard to like
It's
I
hard to remember, yeah, Vilnavia, yeah, yeah,
Bonavia. Like he uses her to lure that guy because they've already been spying on him, obviously, and he's already checking out Dieter Bacher. Is that his name? Bacher?
Peter Beck, Peter
Beck.
Beck.
Okay. Yeah, he's already checking out his old lady, so they was like, okay, well, let's lure his ass this way, and then they get his ass, set him up with the scorpions and shit.
I
Man, that's a
mean,
brutal ass scene, dude, with the scorpion.
it's fantastic. It's worth just watching this film for that scene alone.
Yeah.
And you could put that in kind of any Giallo film, and that would work. I think because like you got Black Belly or Tarantula and stuff like that. And I
Yeah.
think that kind of scene would work perfectly in a Giallo because scorpions, case of scorpion's tail and stuff like that. By far the best kill, I think. By far the best kill of the series.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just seem to like these kills better than the first. I don't know why. Because I think you preferred the first one.
Yeah, I definitely do.
With the kills.
Yeah, I think so. Like just the creative wittiness of them. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it's just done well. Like, I mean, he kills everybody he wanted to kill.
he
So,
does. Yeah,
like,
yeah.
pretty much.
Like we won't give the end away, but I thought the end was really good to this one as well.
Oh yeah,
With the biodebac character, we won't say what happens, but
right.
needless to say, it all builds up to this big crescendo at the end. And that final shot as well, which I won't say, is kind of yeah. I dug the ending to this. Let's just put it that way.
Right.
And again, they play over a different version of Over the Rainbow to the end credits as well,
Yeah,
which kind of
it does it
it's
again.
crazy.
somewhere
Yeah.
over the rainbow. It's creepy as hell, really. The way
It
it's
really
shot.
is. It really is. Yeah. In that context.
Let's see. Sean says yes. It's a MGM Midnight Movies double feature
It's probably a print now, I would imagine, as well.
with those stupid double-sided discs.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I think that it may have, Madhouse may have a Blu-ray release, but it's definitely a print. It's definitely,
Right.
you can't get it for a decent price in the UK.
I got to take a quick break, right quick. I can put
No
some
worries,
on
man.
if you want. I mean, just loop a
If you want to
video.
put something on, and I'll do the same then.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
All right. Sorry about that, y'all. Nature calls, you know.
No worries, man. No worries.
But yeah, man. Did you want to just go ahead and get in the Theater of Blood, or?
Yeah, man. Yeah, this for me definitely is my favorite of the three.
Okay. What'd you rate Rises Again, though?
Oh, I would give that. I'd give them all 6 out of 10, but I would say that's 6 minus for me.
Okay, for me, like I said, Abominable Dr. Phibes is a 7, and Rises Again, I'll give it a 5 out of 10.
Right. Yeah,
but it's definitely worth watching, and they could go up. You know what I'm saying? But
this Theater of Blood. I'm lucky enough to get this version of the Steelbook. This is like definitely well out of print, I think. But this could go up to a 7 in time for me. This was the one I enjoyed the most out of all 3.
Right. Okay. That's a killer ass edition, though.
Yeah, again, I think I got that really cheap. I think I got it like in a Zavvi sale maybe 8-10 years ago, like £6, something like that.
Right. All right. Well, we're going to get into Theater of Blood, directed by Douglas Hickox, 1973. And they were going to get the same director that did the Phibes movies, but he said he didn't want to be typecast as the guy who made Vincent Price themed killing movies.
Okay, yeah.
So
I didn't know that.
yeah, but
I don't know if you has this Douglas Hickox done anything else? I didn't look too much into it.
I didn't go into that any. I didn't even look. I did write quite a bit about the film, like other things. Yeah. This is one of Vincent Price's favorite movies. I know that he's done because he finally got the chance to do some Shakespeare.
Yeah.
He never had that chance before. So in this film, he does 8 different plays of Shakespeare in the deaths that he's. So let me go ahead and tell the synopsis.
Yeah.
So after, excuse me, y'all. After being humiliated by theater critics, at an award ceremony, never mind. A Shakespeare actor, Edward Kendall Sheridan Lionheart, commits suicide, or so they think. They dives into the Thames River. Is that how you say it?
The Thames, River Thames, yeah.
The what?
River Thames in London.
Thames? Okay,
Yeah,
I thought it was Thames. Okay, I didn't know.
No, Thames.
So it's a river in southern England, and it goes
into
London.
In London, yeah.
It's like 215 miles. I didn't even know. Like it was son of a bitch.
Oh God, yeah. It's right through the heart of London, the center of London.
And then he survives, and he's saved by like a group of homeless people. And then 2 years later, it's got the same kind of setup as Dr. Phibes in a way. Like, a couple years later, 4 years later.
Yeah.
He's going to exact revenge on these film critics, where in Phibes he was exacting his revenge on a medical team, doctors and nurses. But
it's pretty much the same film as the Dr. Phibes, just
it really
a different story.
Except I feel like the Edward Lionheart character, I feel like he's more insane though, because this is more about. This is more like, he's like, it's more about him. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like,
I find it good.
You know damn well I'm a good actor. Well, you never wrote me a good review. Like that kind of shit. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
But
and I mean, all 3 stories are bizarre and all that, but if anything, this one kind of works the best for me because, in a way, it could kind of happen,
Yeah. Oh yeah, it definitely could happen. I could see some crazy ass actor losing his mind, like, you know what I mean?
But his daughter actually said he loved this film because he never had a good time with critics. Obviously, being an actor in horror films back in the day.
In real life. So
that's
probably. Damn, sorry.
That's all right. So this was basically his way of like saying a statement of how he really felt about film critics.
Right.
So I think that's why he, this warms his heart a little bit more than the others.
But yeah, man. So he, you wanna go into it or?
Yeah, we could do. Yeah.
You like this?
Basically, yeah, I think so. Just slightly better than the original.
I will say the gore is better in this one, and you know, I'll
I
give it
think,
that.
like, straight from the off as well, you get that. You know, we get, so basically, to set it all up, you've got these film critics. They've basically given him a bad review for all his, you know, plays and.
Well, what they're saying is he's not a real like. They didn't give him the award that he wanted. The reason is because he only did Shakespeare.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
wouldn't do anything modern. He wouldn't do any kind of modern stuff. He just did only Shakespeare. So that's why he
So
didn't get the award. But
so they give it to like this newcomer, didn't they?
they give it to this one guy, and he even mentions that he's like this bumbling drunk that can't even barely get through his lines. Like he's really pissed off about this shit. But
Yeah. But anyway, like the opening scene with the, you know, so basically you got these critics. They're meeting, you know, they're getting off one by one. There's again no mystery into who's doing this. But I love that. I love that. You know, to set it up, you've got this film critic at the start. I think his name's George Maxwell. So he's a critic for this newspaper, and he's asked by the police basically to come and remove these squatters in this like one property that they're dealing with.
right.
But his wife has this weird dream about him being killed at a zoo.
Yeah,
And
all these
it's
animals.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the way it's kind of set up, because lightning strikes, she says lightning strikes and the fucking like lions come in or something to kill him. So we know from that moment in that he's doomed. Like if you watch any films, you know he's doomed. But he goes then and he gets like set upon by all these homeless people, and it's really great the way they've done it. You know, he's stabbed and he's kind of attacked.
There's a drape of plastic, like the guy tries to run and he runs into the plastic, brilliant. And it turns around and you see all these people just hacking him,
stabbing him, and hacking him. Yeah. And it was suggested by a kill from Julius Caesar, I think. You know, this first one.
Right.
And yeah,
it
just
doing.
Sets the
like with everyone he's killing, he's doing the murder scenes from the plays.
From the play, yeah, it's so clever the way they do it as well. And this one's got more of an Amicus feel to me about it, like a Hammer Amicus type feel to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you get and like going through the cast as well. You know, I just want to mention Diana Rigg. She plays his daughter Edwina Lionheart. She was the main older lady in Last Night in Soho.
Yeah, man, that blows my mind because
I
didn't know that until you said that. So
I didn't, because I was watching, because I think we was talking off air and I was watching it, and then I kind of read that and then I thought, shit, I know her from somewhere, and then I looked and like you say, it's all in the eyes. You can tell all in the eyes with her. But yeah, you've got Ian Hendry. He's like a well-known UK actor. He was in Damien Omen 2. You probably remember him from that. I think he's in Tales from the Crypt as well, the film, Captain Kronos as well. But yeah, I don't know. I just think this is such a clever film.
Did you know that she introduced Vincent Price to his last wife as well, and she's in the movie, Coral Brown.
Well, this was because I watched the interview with his daughter, and this was kind of a really. So to set this up, he was basically going like almost like a divorce or finished with his wife at the time of this film.
He wasn't
like
divorced yet.
Yeah, he wasn't divorced, but he'd met this, fellow actress. Have you got her name down there? I'm trying to remember her name offhand.
Coral Brown.
Coral Brown. Sorry, you did say sorry.
Coral Brown, who plays Chloe Moon in the film. She's one of the film critics.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and his daughter was saying, right. So basically, on set or what have you, they were like Vincent Price was never one. She said as being a fitness fanatic. So she found it strange, like she was this young girl, and she found it strange that he wanted to go for a walk to this certain route in London at the time.
Yeah.
And she was like, I don't know, he's never really wanted to go for walks before.
Yeah.
But then he realised that his mistress was living, that lady you just said.
Right.
She was living in this certain part of London where he was going. And then she kind of it all twigged together later on, I think, in her life, what was going on.
Yeah.
But she said it was a very unhappy time for her and her mother, obviously. But he kind of seemed to have like a second lease of life once he met this, this
Yeah.
new mistress of his.
Yeah, because they got along really well. They got into the art together that he was highly interested in, and then she originally didn't want to be in it. She said that she didn't want to be in one of those scary films of Vincent Price, but she saw
Right.
the cast. She saw how strong the cast was of the film critics, or the
Yeah.
whole cast, and she was like, "Hell yeah, she's gonna," But it's pretty cool story. Like pretty neat happy ending for the end
Yeah,
of his life.
kind of a sad ending for his wife, obviously, but yeah.
Yeah, but they're
Uh,
like up in age. You know what I mean? And he was
yeah,
already getting divorced. He was in the
I think he was
process.
60. Oh, right, yeah. But yeah, like you say, it's kind of with this film, it's all about the death scenes. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
there's kind of a little bit more to it because we're in reenacting all these scenes on different plays and stuff.
Right.
But what he did say as well, which his daughter said, he was like Vincent Price kind of felt that he wasn't as good as the British actors in this film because he'd always looked up to, because like you say, he came over to London at an early age and studied, and she said he kind of didn't feel he was as good as them, but as we all know, he was their match, if not better, probably. But so I thought that was kind of interesting. So he kind of upped his performance a little bit,
Yeah.
if that makes sense, and it comes through the screen really well because
Yeah, man. Because
everyone in this film,
when he's doing those Shakespeare parts, I mean, that's solid as hell. Man, it's real. It's like,
yeah, because Diana Rigg actually said, I've never met anyone who can recite poetry because he used to make up his own
that's
poetry.
something else I didn't bring up. Yeah, his memory is so strong. Like other people on films that he worked on with, he would remember all his dialogue. Like,
Yeah,
and a lot of people were struggling with their lines, and he always was on time with his shit.
I think the last film Joseph Cotton was in, and he actually said to Vincent Price, he said, "How the hell, do you remember all your lines?" Or I think actually with the last one, maybe he didn't have that many lines, but he said something along the lines of, "Oh yeah, you've got it easy in this one. I've got to remember all these lines." Joseph Cotton said, and like Vincent Price just said, "Well, I'm a professional.
Yeah.
And that's just the way he was. He had this kind of photogenic memory, of everything, not just lines, everything in life.
Right. He did everything 100%. He wasn't gonna half-ass nothing.
No, not at all, not at all.
Makes me want to check out some of his cookbooks and shit. See what the hell he was cooking.
Right, maybe that's one for Dana with a new new cooking show.
Yeah.
Do a few
I
things.
ain't talking about doing a stream. I'm just talking about maybe cook some shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll leave that for Dana.
Oh yeah, she's definitely better than what we would fucking attempt to do anyway. But yeah, so you've got the whole thing with the film critics. I mean, we won't go through it scene for scene or anything, but you've got all these film critics having this meeting in London. He turns up, like you said, he's a bit aggrieved that he didn't get the award, and then he kind of just jumps to his death in the River Thames, like you said.
Right.
And from then on in, you just get all these different, like film critics just being killed one by one is probably the best way to describe it. And that's pretty much all there is, really. We will mention some.
It don't, like, when the film starts, man, that's something I didn't mention either. When the film starts, like this one and Dr. Phibes, it's just going. You know what I mean? Like the deaths, the murders are happening.
God, yeah.
Shit.
In that regard, it's like the Friday the 13th formula. It's every like fucking 7-8 minutes is a death.
Yeah, right.
Um,
And right
they
out the
never,
gate too, and you know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah, yeah. They never let up as well. It's like that right to the end. And that's what we got to love about it. And each different death is more kind of elaborate than the others. And
And then the director said that he didn't even have to do anything really. He said the Douglas Hickox. He said that he'd put together such a good cast as far as all the critics.
Yeah.
That he said he would just open the dressing room door and let the cameras roll. He said he didn't have to hardly direct nobody, you know. So
yeah, so a lot, right. So obviously they knew their line; they're all professional as hell. I wonder if there's any ad libbing, maybe.
Might have been.
But yeah, like you say, like for me as a British guy, there's one death scene with this guy called Horace Spray, right? And his name is Arthur Lowe, and he's kind of a big sitcom, like in the UK actor. So it's bizarre because he gets this big chest sent to like his bedroom, and his wife's like, oh, leave it to the morning to see what's. And obviously Vincent Price's character, and I think Vulcania's like in this hidden in this chest, and they come out like during the night, and it's just such a like bizarre fucking death scene, you know?
Yeah.
Because they end up, we're going to spoil different things, but they end up with sawing this guy's head off,
right.
And his wife finds his head in the morning, like she goes to like nudge him, and the fucking head just flies off.
It's because the maid's screaming.
Yeah.
The maid screams.
The maid finds him. Yeah, sorry.
And like, let's talk about when he's actually doing it, though. Remember, like he's doing when he's sawing the damn shit.
Yeah.
And was he pouring in his neck? He's pouring something in his neck. I didn't.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
What the hell? I didn't get.
Was it like because he does it to his wife as well, doesn't he?
Well, he sticks her just to make her go to sleep again, but he's pouring out of a bowl after he cuts into the neck. Like you see blood skeeting and shit.
Yeah,
He's like, he says basin, I think he says, and then she hands him a bowl, and he's like rolling his eyes and shit. Like, come on, let's do better.
So kind of like, they kind of like doing an operation, basically.
Right. Scalpel
and then
all that shit.
And then the one character sees this guy's head on like milk bottles. It's brilliant the way they do it. Yeah, God, man, there's kind of a lot of different like bizarre death scenes, more so than the others. Would you say, or would you say the second Phibes film is like more bizarre?
I would say, I don't know, man. I kind of feel like the first Phibes film's pretty damn bizarre. Like in my opinion, like
it's
just because I think it's because of the Volnavia character.
Right, yeah. But
and with this, the band and everything, the band that he has that you were talking about.
That kind of, I could have done with a lot more of that, to be honest.
Yeah, that's some strange shit going on.
But you've got another film critic, basically, like The Merchant of Venice, he gets his pain in the flesh, he gets like his heart cut out, which is another good scene. He's lured there, by not Vulcania, by his daughter.
Yeah, and see, that's another thing that's similar. He's got his daughter assisting him.
And that's kind of reminds me of Vulcania. It's almost exactly the same.
Exactly.
She's doing exactly the same.
It's almost like a remake, but like they named it something else. But
it really is. I know. Do you think that was done intentionally, or because it really is like
just making money? I guess it made money, so it was like,
right.
That's why the other director didn't want to do another one. He's like, nah. He probably read the script and was like, that's just too much like the film I did. That's what
But
I
now
would.
you've said that, it's almost definitely like it's definitely almost a remake. It's
Yeah,
pretty much
just a
just
couple of
different.
elements. Just
Yeah,
the wife element. Just
right.
change that out with career. They killed his career instead of killing his wife. You know.
Yeah, yeah. Now you've said that, it's kind of there's a whole twist as well with his daughter, which is so obvious, but it's just played so tongue in
Yeah,
cheek.
that's
You'll
another thing
know.
that I was like, why are y'all even bothering with that twist? Like, I mean, you'd have to be a brain dead son of a bitch not to figure that one out. You know.
I
Like,
think it's done on purpose to be hokey
yeah,
on purpose, so we
right,
know there's no kind of mystery element because we know.
right. I was hoping not, man. You got to do better than that. Like,
Yeah. I did find the sword fencing scene quite funny because
Yeah,
he basically starts sword fencing. He lures this film critic to like this fencing place, and they start sword fencing for real.
and then that's a lot like the doctor in Phibes,
Yeah,
Versailles.
exactly. Yeah.
That
So
one critic he's sympathetic toward almost.
right, yeah, because he lets him off, doesn't he, to a certain
Right.
degree? But what I find so funny is that you can tell that it's not Vincent Price the way this guy must be. The
Right.
guy who's actually playing him must have been in his 20s or something because he's all
Yeah.
nimble
Yeah.
and you can tell it's not Vincent Price and it's
Right.
funny in that regard.
Yeah.
But again, I don't know if it was just tongue in cheek or what
Yeah.
have you.
I think it is. I think a lot of it is. Oh,
But
excuse me.
yeah, like I say, there's so many. I don't want to go over everyone. I don't want to bore everyone. You've got the gay character as well with the two poodle dogs.
Yeah, and he cooks them up a good meal, don't he?
Yeah, like there's this bizarre like game show that they play out, like a scene from this game show, and this is your meal or something, I don't know, something like that, and he ends up eating his own dogs, and it's kind of, yeah, I don't know,
It's disturbing.
disturbing, yeah,
Damn.
creepy,
Puts that funnel down his mouth.
very creepy scene actually thinking about it. But yeah, I don't know, I just think this is your dish is what it's called. Sorry, I know I had
Right.
it. Um, and you've still got the comedy cops in this, where they bloody like they hear him over the radio and then they crash, and
Right.
it's kind of bizarre. But yeah, I don't know. I really like this. I'm trying to think. I don't know if you want to come.
I'm definitely gonna buy it. I need to get. I guess it's only on DVD.
It's on Blu-ray.
It's on Blue. Okay.
Yeah, it's on Blue. If you can, maybe have a look for this steelbook on eBay because someone might have it used.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah,
I get it. I mean,
I think it's got a standalone release as well. Arrow.
Yeah, I'd like to get all his every one of his horror films for sure.
I didn't get a chance to watch the two commentaries and that, but I would have liked to have done that. Didn't get a chance, but I definitely would go back. I think this is the one I would go back to more than the others.
I'm gonna read some of these comments right quick.
Yeah, go for it.
Texas says Diana Rigg was Emma Peel.
That's right. That's where a lot of UK people know her from.
Okay.
But that was kind of a little bit before my time. That was 60s.
Okay. And Wild Wrangler says, "Hey y'all, late." Oh man.
Hey Wrangler.
Better late than never. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah.
And then people are saying, "Hey, Wild Wrangler says thoughts on Conjuring Last Rites." I didn't even know about it. I haven't even heard about it. So
has it been announced?
I guess so. So that's the first time I'm hearing about it right now. So
right, yeah.
Wild Wrangler says Dr. Phibes, then Jigsaw. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Dirk mentioned that earlier. Similar.
Man. Straight up, dude. When you're watching that shit, you're like, mother, they stole that shit.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, I don't know if we want to just briefly mention the ending. We won't say what happens. But I think this is kind of a fitting ending to the film.
Yeah.
Um,
Now that is the one thing that is different. The ending is way different than Dr. Phibes. So
don't know. Yeah, I suppose we can mention the one part where the last kind of line of the film is this critic who survives, and he basically, regarding to what the ending is, he gives like a positive kind of mixed review on how it ends. If that makes sense, it'll make sense if you watch the film.
Right.
But that was definitely a good, I thought, tongue-in-cheek kind of way to end it. And the comedy there shines through, but it's done really well.
Juan Ramos says Vincent Price, born in St. Louis, Missouri. Yeah. I mentioned a lot of. I did like an overview of his life.
I always thought he was from the UK for a long, like when I was younger, for a long time, because he was always in, on the telly over here.
He really liked it over there. I know that, but I mean, and he did a lot of school over there. So.
Yeah, he lived quite a bit.
But he ended up. So I didn't mention that. Let's see. There was I'd already talked about that. He ended up. I just don't want to mistake his last place where he lived, and it was. Hold on. His remains. So his remains were cremated and scattered over Nicholas Canyon Beach near Point Doom in Malibu, California.
Okay, yeah.
So he lived in L.A., I believe, when he died.
So how old was he when he died then? Do you know?
He was 82.
82, that's not a bad age to get to, is it?
Yeah, 82. October 25th, 1993 is when he died.
Right.
He was also a Sears and Roebuck art consultant. They had a whole Vincent Price collection in Sears and Roebuck.
Right.
And so they got him to pick art pieces, and I guess they reprinted them and sold them.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He did that shit from 1962 to 1971. That's what I was saying. He did a lot of shit, not just acting. I mean, he did a ton of stuff, man.
That's what I always think of Fulci as well. Similar on backgrounds in terms of art and making films, for sure.
Yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to.
No, you're good, man. You're good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say I would highly. Well, I don't know about highly, but I would definitely recommend these.
I wouldn't recommend this to anyone, but I would say if you're into maybe some like early 70s, horror.
Yeah, maybe Hammer or Amicus. If you're into that type of thing, then I think these would be your thing. But I mean, you can't go wrong, watching these on Halloween night or anything like that. I think they'll do the job. Whether they become, film favorites, I don't know. But I'd have to know what different people's tastes are to recommend them to. But yeah, you're not going to lose 90 minutes of your life watching these. These are pretty decent films, I think.
Man. They're very well paced, and not much fat on them, so they're not boring by no means. But
no, not at all, not at all.
But yeah, man. Anything else you want to mention about Price or what we got?
No, that's pretty much basically what I had written down.
And while Ramos says need to rewatch Dr. Phibes double feature. Yeah, man. Yeah, I think it's a good one. Like once a year, that'd be a good one for sure.
I think I'll warm to him a bit more as I go.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I'm trying to. I don't want to bore anybody with all my notes and shit. So I guess we're going to get out of here unless there's anything else you wanted to mention.
No,
I did.
Go on.
Go ahead, man. Sorry.
I was only going to mention what we got coming up streams wise and stuff, but you go first.
Okay. I'll say this: like in the Pit and the Pendulum, he's so over the top in that one, and he felt like his performance was hokey, but that's the way Price was. He didn't talk shit on anyone, so I think because other people said that the script wasn't very like it was real hokey, like, you know what I mean? And
right.
That's why he played it so over the top. So you can see his like his greatness, and you can see some of his weaknesses, but it's probably because of the script. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I've heard good things about it, not just yourself.
The Pit and the Pendulum is great, but his acting is probably the most over the top in that film.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But yeah.
You got any? I don't know if you want to mention it on air or off air, but any thoughts about next week of what to cover?
Nothing set in stone yet. I guess we'll kind of talk about it if
see if anyone's got any ideas.
If anybody's got an idea, something they want us to cover, like for next week,
because we want to kind of hopefully do
a little bit.
Yeah, we hopefully want to do one of the bigger directors.
Right.
I was thinking maybe 3 underrated like Argento films, but I don't know. Don't know which ones I would pick. Maybe 3 that we don't watch a lot. Maybe Martino. Even
that'd be cool. Wild Wrangler saying a creature feature.
Yeah, well, I think we did that, didn't we? We done the Animal Kills film.
Yeah, we did. We covered like animal attacks. I think he's talking about like maybe like Creature of the Black Lagoon or Wolfman or.
Oh right, okay, yeah.
Something like that.
I don't think I would like. I don't know. I don't think that would be my thing.
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be good with some underrated Argento.
Right. So okay then. So I'm gonna give you a spoiler now for Eurocult tomorrow, but
yeah.
you can either like, I don't know whether you'll be mad with me or what, because my next one on Eurocult is going to be the Stendhal syndrome.
Okay.
So there's a bit of a spoiler there for the Eurocult fans, but we can pick another 3 from Argento.
Okay, because I was thinking that one was going to be one of them, but
so if we do it for Eurocult, that kind of gets that sorted.
Definitely Sleepless. Sleepless right to mind.
Yeah. Why don't we do Sleepless? I'm thinking of you don't like the card player. Would you be willing to give it another go, or would you rather do something else? And I'm fine if you want to do something else, so don't worry.
I guess I'll give it another try, but.
So we could do that. Then we could do Sleepless, the card player.
Just don't say Dracula 3D or.
I was gonna say, do you like Hitchcock or the film Giallo?
Or don't say Phantom of the
Opera. I don't think you. Yeah, I'm not gonna say that. No. Or even Black Glasses, but I don't think you've got that, have you? I don't think you got that release.
I don't have the release, no, but I could watch it.
So I'll leave it to you. And out of those 3, what would you say? Do you like Hitchcock, Giallo, or Black Glasses? Dark Glasses. Up to you for the last one.
If I can find, do you like Hitchcock? That sounds cool.
Yes. Well, I won't say what I think of this
because I haven't seen that one, and yeah.
I would imagine you'd probably be able to get hold of a copy online. Okay. But if the worst comes to worst, I'm sure Steve will probably have it, and he can Dropbox you it maybe. But we can keep that one open if you want. So it's going to be Sleepless, card player, and maybe that one. That'd be cool. If anyone, I don't know if like anyone's interested if they want to come on, just to give Dr. Dirk a line, or in the comments or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe have a special guest if anyone wants to pop on for that one.
Yeah,
But,
if everybody would. If you consider liking and subscribing, if you're seeing this in the future, or now or whatever, like just it helps with the channel or whatever. Just trying to move it up a little bit, but
So we've got Eurocult tomorrow, which we're covering next to King, which is your pick.
It'll be Eurocult on Dead Pit, and that'll be live in the AM.
That film, man, that film is great. I watched it again last night, and it's been a while.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll mention it in depth tomorrow. But I mean, the first hour of that film is not even like it turns slasher, doesn't it? After like, it takes an hour to turn slasher, but I mean, the whole build up to that film is amazing. I think it's one of the most underrated, underseen 80s horror films.
Yeah, Next to Kin is amazing. And I ain't talking about the one with Patrick Swayze. And,
no, we're definitely not talking about that one.
But yeah, so Australian Next to Kin on Eurocult, but
definitely tune in to Dead Pit for that one.
Yeah,
because your clocks don't change tonight, do they? My clocks over here change.
Yeah, they're supposed to. Yeah.
Oh, they do tonight as well.
Fall back.
Yeah. Oh, right. So I'll have to double
spring forward and fall back. Yep.
And then we got Gizmos, which I've seen 3 films.
Yeah.
I still got another 2 to see.
I got some movies I gotta watch. I gotta get on. But I got Wild Wrangler asking you, Darren, how is Halloween done where you are?
Right, it's pretty low key. Like at the moment, with all what's been going on, because I suppose everywhere in the world you get child molesters and all that shit. So I mean, it's not like it used to be. And I live in like an apartment as well, which is up steps and all that shit. So I barely don't get to see any of them. And I've been here 5 years. I've never seen one Halloween trick or treater. But I mean, yeah, it's still, I think it's kind of controlled more, where they're always with their parents and stuff now. But it's not like it used to be. I don't know whether it'll ever get back to that. But the big thing for us is like bonfire night as well. We got on the 5th of November. That's like massive. And all you hear that day is just fire. Well, even coming up to that date as well, it's just fireworks every night. People laying off fireworks at 12, 1 o'clock in the morning and stuff like that. But I mean, that's quite a big thing still, bonfire night here.
And Texas says I have one more to watch for Gizmos tomorrow.
No, I wish I'd had them all done early.
I got 2 more, and then I gotta get on this Next to Kin and start writing.
I've got to do that.
It's been a busy ass week for me, for sure. But
I did watch the start of something called the Enfield Poltergeist. It's on Apple TV. They're doing like a 4-part series. Yeah. And it's all based on the case from 1977 Enfield in London. And I'm a massive I've got books on it and everything. I watched the first episode last night, and it's just great. Because they reenact what happens. But I mean, you've got the actual voices. You've got actors lip reading the voices. So we're hearing the actual voices on the tape. Anyone who's into that kind of spookiness, and I think that case is still today puts the shits at me. So I highly recommend that. I still got 3 more episodes I want to see, to finish that. But definitely give that a go if you can get a chance to watch that one.
And Wild says, thanks, Dirk and Darren. Yeah, man. Thank you.
No worries, man.
Thank you
thanks for every single one of you for commenting and liking.
Yeah. I guess we're gonna get it out of here, man. And I'll play this little 1-minute thing, and then we'll sign out of here, man. But
have a good one, guys.
Have a good one. Y'all take care.
Catch you next time.
Haunted house party.